All right, this is Francis Atwoli's biography. That is Francis Atwoli, Fame, Force and Fury. It is written by Judith K. Akuma and Babere Kerata Chacha. And this particular book, Francis Atwoli, addresses many issues. And one of the issues that he addresses is the death of his former Deputy Secretary General and former Kabete MP, that is George Muchai. Remember, at the time of Muchai's assassination, Atwoli was one of those persons who were mentioned as those who might have orchestrated that murder. In that regard, Atwoli has addressed that particular issue in his biography, which we are going to take a quick look at, or rather we are going to get an excerpt of what he has to say about Muchai's murder. Apart from external forces, Atwoli also had to deal with challenges within the labor movement. One such challenge arose from his ambitious Deputy Secretary General, that is George Muchai. In October 2014, a row erupted between Atwoli and Muchai over the control of Kotu's funds and property. The two had worked together for a long time and were close friends. However, their problem started when George Muchai was elected Kabete MP in 2013, and he started working closely with Kazungu Kambi, apparently to undermine Atwoli. It did not take long before Atwoli sensationally claimed that his deputy was part of a large plot orchestrated by Labour Minister Kazungu Kambi to destabilize the organization and oust him. Muchai denied the claims, saying the fact was that he had refused to play along with his boss to cover up the irregular acquisition of a piece of land in Mombasa. Muchai claimed that he had been shown minutes of a meeting that supposedly approved his appointment as the chairman of Kotu's committee that presided over the sale of the land. According to my record of minutes of the meeting held in September 2007, the land matter was not discussed, he said. When I asked Mr. Atwoli about the disparities between his records and those submitted to the CID, he asked me to offer support to a colleague of long standing. Even when one was wrong, George Muchai went on to complain publicly about Atwoli's authoritarian ways, citing a case where he had been forcefully ejected from a Kotu meeting in Mombasa because he was being perceived to have dissenting views. He added that he had been intimidated by goons who stopped him from accessing his office. The war of words between the two leaders escalated, and Muchai was suspended from the executive board and was replaced by Benson Okwaro. However, he vowed to fight Atwoli and ensure his former boss did not continue representing workers because the firebrand unionist was no longer fit to champion workers' welfare. He filed a case in court against Atwoli, accusing him of corruption and irregularly suspending him from the executive board. The Registrar of Trade Unions, Elizabeth Gisheha, overturned the executive board's decision to suspend Muchai, arguing he had not been given adequate time to defend himself as required by law. Atwoli had dismissed Muchai as a betrayer of the trade unions. Speaking at the burial of veteran trade unionist Johnston Ogendo in Kisumu, Atwoli defended himself against accusations of stifling democracy in the trade union. He went on to accuse DP Ruto, Kambi and Muchai of attempting to remove him from office over false allegations. He claimed that he was being implicated in corruption, yet he was clean. He bragged that he drives more expensive cars than Ruto, which he had bought with his money. I am not a thief and I am loved. I was given a Mercedes-Benz that changes color, which is worth 60 million shillings. Therefore, I can't embezzle a paltry 7 million shillings as some people are claiming. The conflict between Atwoli and Muchai did not stop here. On February 7th, 2015, George Muchai was shot by unknown assailants at the Kenyatta Avenue Uhuru Highway roundabout in Nairobi. Initial police report indicated that the killing was an execution or a planned assassination. This killing shook the nation. On Monday 9th February 2015, some Jubilee MPs from Kiambu issued a press statement asking the government to investigate Atwoli over Muchai's murder. In the statement read by Kiambu Woman Representative Ann Nyokafi, the MPs linked Atwoli to the murder. They noted that Muchai had publicly expressed fear over his life after falling out with Mr. Atwoli, who he had accused of misappropriating unions money. Detectives should not look any further. They should investigate Atwoli and, if possible, arrest him for the murder of Muchai, because he's the only one who had a motive to kill him. It is not a coincidence that Muchai's assassination happened after falling out with Atwoli, and just when he was about to expose him over missing millions at Koto, the leaders argued. Similar sentiments were expressed by Gatundu South MP Moses Kuria, his Gatanga counterpart Humphrey Njuguna, and judges Francis Munywa Waitito, who demanded thorough investigation into the death. However, Atwoli refuted the claims and asked the police to carry out thorough investigations to allay rumors and suspicion over the death of Muchai, he said. I was the mentor of Muchai, who had tried several times to get a position in Koto but had failed until we decided to team up with him. I sent Koto chairman Rajab Mwonde to get Muchai to team up with us in 2001, and we were both elected. I helped him to go to parliament and financed his campaigns because we wanted him to join the house to represent workers' interest. The problem between Atwoli and George Muchai arose when Kambi started fighting the umbrella union. Kambi managed to convince Muchai that Atwoli was a bad man and the president and his deputy did not like him and were going to fight and remove him from the trade union movement. If things worked according to plan, Atwoli would have been overthrown from Kotu leadership and replaced with Muchai. Contrary to what some MPs claimed, Kotu did not have a hand in Muchai's murder. The allegations made it difficult for Atwoli to attend the funeral. He was a marked man and the environment was hostile. However, as it came to pass, the police arrested the real suspects who confessed they had not been sent by anybody to kill Muchai. They were ordinary thugs looking for a vehicle to use for a robbery mission in Carnivore, Nairobi. Atwoli later sued the three MPs for defamation but lost the case. Nonetheless, the matter did not end there. Moses Nandalwe, Atwoli's personal assistant, came out strongly to defend his boss and went on to assert that the utterances by the MPs had put the life of Atwoli and that of Kotu officials in danger. Nandwale said the statements were diversionary and challenged those with evidence to present it to the police for investigation. Kotu leaders concurred with Nandwale and expressed full support for Atwoli. This was the second time allegations were made that Atwoli's life was in danger. The claims gave Kambi further ammunition to fight Atwoli. He threatened to resign if those behind George Muchai's murder were not arrested. Well, he did not have to resign because on March 29, 2015, along with other cabinet secretaries, Charity Ngilu, Michael Kamau and Davis Chirchir, as well as principal secretaries, they were suspended over corruption allegations. He was linked to the contentious 5 billion Tasia 2 project and the award of 130 billion shillings secret tenders for 2 projects that were under investigation by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption EACC. Rachel Omamo replaced Kambi at the Labour Ministry on acting capacity. So that is the take of Francis Atwoli on George Muchai's murder. He has cleaned himself in his book, Francis Atwoli, Fame, Force and Fury. But the jury is out there whether he had a hand in the assassination or not. The book is written by Judith K. Akuma and Babere Kerata Chacha and is published by Moran Publishers.